next we're going to talk about barefoot shoes. So what is a barefoot shoe? A barefoot shoe is simply just a shoe without really any padding underneath it. A barefoot shoe simply has no thickness really. It's a kind of maybe ½ centimetre layer of plastic underneath your foot and maybe the tiniest little bit of arch support. The main feature of a barefoot shoe is that particularly it has a very wide toe box. So where your toes sit in your shoe, that's the kind of widest part of the shoe. So the wide toe box, what that allows is your foot to spread adequately as you're kind of walking. Specifically, what barefoot shoes can be really kind of effective for treating is things like bunions and plantar fasciitis. So a bunion is when your kind of big toe gets a slight bony deformity and kind of angles in. Now that is a lot of the time due to kind of traditional footwear and then having kind of too narrow a toe box. So if you can kind of get a barefoot shoe with a wider toe box, you're less likely to develop a bunion. Now, the other thing with a barefoot shoe is that it makes the muscles in your feet much stronger. So if the muscles in your feet are much stronger, you're less likely to develop painful conditions of the foot and heel. The only other thing we need to mention with regards to barefoot shoes is, yes, they are quite uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable to start with, and that's because you're taking a lot more of the floor through your foot. Normally when we're walking, we're used to having that really cushioned heel. So we plant our heel and we go heel, midfoot, toes, and then we push off. That's our usual kind of gait cycle on one foot. If you were to walk like that in a barefoot shoe, it would be a little bit uncomfortable in your heel because you strike your heel into the floor and there's no protection there. So you naturally walk a bit differently and you walk a bit more like how you would when you're just walking around the house in socks or without socks. It takes a bit of time to kind of get used to this kind of gait when you're out and about walking outside the house, but it's one of those things you have to persevere with. Otherwise, there's not really any other drawbacks to barefoot shoes.